The implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms is projected to unfold by Q2 2024, involving a total investment of $1.2 million across pilot programs in 5 major cities. This initiative is structured into 4 key phases aimed at enhancing urban transport governance through Metropolitan Transport Authorities (MTAs). 1. Integration of information from sources. The initiative reflects a comprehensive understanding of urban transport challenges, particularly in developing regions like Dhaka, which suffers from ineffective governance and fragmented transport systems. The World Bank highlights the importance of establishing MTAs to streamline planning, regulation, and enforcement. In Dhaka, the Dhaka Transport Coordination Authority (DTCA) currently lacks the necessary powers and resources to enforce its mandate effectively. The proposed reforms aim to empower DTCA to take a more significant leadership role in urban transport governance. 2. Common key points. Several sources emphasize the need for improved governance structures to manage urban transport systems effectively. For instance, the successful integration of public transport road safety improvements and the necessity for a well-functioning transport framework are consistent themes. Additionally, the transition to electric mobility, as highlighted by the National Electric Vehicle Policy (NEVP) in Pakistan, is framed within a broader agenda to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve air quality. 3. Differences between sources. While some reports focus on the immediate operational aspects of urban transport, e.g., improving road infrastructure in Armenia, others, like the NEVP, address long-term strategies for decarbonization and the shift to electric vehicles (EVs). The NEVP emphasizes the importance of incentivizing EV adoption through tax breaks and financing options, which contrasts with the focus on transport governance frameworks in Dhaka. 4. Timeline of events. Q2 2024, implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms across 5 cities. 2019, launch of Pakistan's NEVP aimed at facilitating EV adoption. 2006, initial establishment of DTCA in Dhaka to create a strategic transport plan. 2021, major shifts in global EV demand and increased focus on battery technology. 2023, current status of EV adoption in Pakistan remains low, with efforts to improve infrastructure ongoing. 2045 projections, anticipated increases in lithium production and the need for enhanced transport capabilities. The reports collectively illustrate how integrated transport policies and infrastructure investments can drive economic opportunities, particularly for women in urban areas, and underscore the importance of aligning local context with global best practices in urban transportation planning. Source summaries. Source 1, World Bank document. Highlights the critical role of effective urban transport governance. Discusses the need for MTAs in streamlining transport planning and regulation. Emphasizes the case of Dhaka as a focal point for governance reform. Source 2, National Electric Vehicle Policy (NEVP). Outlines the framework for promoting electric mobility in Pakistan. Discusses incentives for EV adoption, including tax breaks and financing options. Provides a broader context for reducing emissions and improving air quality. Source 3, various studies. Comparative analyses of urban transport challenges in different countries. Examination of the economic impacts of improved transport infrastructure. Focus on women's mobility and its relation to economic participation. Conclusion. The rollout of the salary seed funding mechanisms and the empowerment of MTAs marks a significant step towards addressing urban transport challenges in developing regions. By aligning policies with local needs and global best practices, cities can enhance their transport systems, promote economic opportunities, and improve the quality of life for their residents, particularly women. The importance of these developments cannot be overstated, as they lay the groundwork for sustainable urban mobility and economic growth. The content provided outlines various transportation initiatives and their implications for urban governance, economic development, and environmental sustainability, with specific focus on several regions, including Dhaka in Bangladesh, cities in the MENA region, and the northwest provinces of Argentina. The articles discuss the implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms, electric mobility advancements, and improvements in rural infrastructure, all aimed at enhancing transport systems and increasing economic opportunities, particularly for women. Counterintuitive information identified in the content. 1. Electric vehicle adoption versus infrastructure. While one might expect the adoption of electric vehicles (EVs) to be driven primarily by the availability of charging infrastructure, the articles emphasize that the cost of acquisition is a more significant barrier. This suggests that simply increasing charging stations without addressing the cost disparity between EVs and internal combustion engine (ICE) vehicles may not lead to substantial adoption. 2. Public transport and women's employment. The article on MENA highlights that improving public transport access does not uniformly increase women's labor force participation (LFP) across different cities. In fact, it suggests that safety and cultural factors play a more pivotal role than merely improving transport services. This challenges the intuition that improved access and infrastructure alone will significantly boost women's employment opportunities. 3. Rural roads and economic transformation. The discussion surrounding rural roads in Armenia presents a paradox where increased agricultural productivity due to better roads does not automatically translate to higher employment rates in more productive sectors. Instead, the emphasis is on how improved roads create opportunities for seasonal jobs and non-farm employment, which may not align with the expectations that all road improvements lead to a shift away from subsistence farming. 4. Urban mobility governance complexity. In Dhaka, the article suggests that having a transport coordination authority may lead to inefficiencies due to overlapping responsibilities and lack of enforcement power. This may seem counterintuitive, as one would expect coordinated governance to streamline processes. Instead, it indicates that fragmented authority can lead to chaos rather than order, challenging the assumption that more governing bodies inherently lead to better management. 5. Investment versus maintenance in transport infrastructure. The articles highlight a tendency within governments to favor capital investment over maintenance, which is counterproductive. The expectation may be that new infrastructure will automatically lead to improved transport outcomes, but neglecting maintenance leads to deterioration and increased long-term costs, contradicting the initial investment logic. 6. Economic growth from lithium production. While the exploration of lithium resources in Argentina's northwest provinces presents a significant opportunity for economic growth, the content implies that transport infrastructure challenges could hinder this potential, thereby suggesting that resource abundance does not guarantee economic prosperity without adequate infrastructure and governance. 7. Perception of safety in public transport. The article indicates that even if public transport services are improved, perceptions of safety can deter women from using these services. This challenges the notion that simply enhancing physical transport infrastructure is sufficient. It emphasizes the need for a comprehensive approach addressing social norms and safety perceptions. Conclusion. The articles collectively suggest that while improving transport systems is essential for economic development and social equity, various nuanced factors, including cost, governance structures, safety perceptions, and socio-cultural contexts, play critical roles in determining the success of these initiatives. These findings underscore the complexity of urban transport governance and the multifaceted nature of economic development in the context of transport infrastructure. The report on the implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms in urban transport governance highlights critical insights that many may overlook. Yet they are significant for policymakers and stakeholders in urban transportation and governance. 1. Empowerment of Metropolitan Transport Authorities (MTAs). Overlooked insight. The report emphasizes the necessity of empowering the Dhaka Transport Coordination Authority (DTCA) to lead urban transport governance effectively. This empowerment is not merely administrative but involves enhancing its legislative powers and operational capacities. Significance: effective governance in urban transport is crucial for addressing challenges such as traffic congestion, road safety, and public transport efficiency. The success of urban transport systems hinges on a well-structured authority capable of making binding decisions, enforcing regulations, and coordinating among various stakeholders. Without such empowerment, transport systems may continue to operate in silos, leading to inefficiencies and unmet public needs. 2. Integration of transport and land use planning. Overlooked insight: there is a call for a holistic approach that integrates transport planning with land use. The report critiques the fragmented nature of planning in Dhaka, where transport decisions are often made without adequate consideration of their spatial and economic implications. Significance: integrating transport and land use planning can promote sustainable urban development. It can enhance accessibility, reduce travel times, and encourage the use of public transport, thereby supporting economic growth and improving quality of life for residents. This integration is especially important in rapidly urbanizing areas where unplanned growth can exacerbate transport issues. 3. Role of women in economic participation. Overlooked insight: the report discusses the impact of transport systems on women's labor force participation (LFP). It underscores that improvements in public transport can significantly enhance women's access to economic opportunities. Significance: gender-sensitive transport policies can lead to broader economic benefits. By understanding and addressing the unique mobility challenges faced by women, urban transport systems can better facilitate their entry into the workforce, which is essential for achieving gender equality and fostering economic resilience in communities. 4. Impact of improved road infrastructure on employment. Overlooked insight: the report details how improved road infrastructure can lead to job creation, particularly in rural areas. It highlights that better roads not only enhance agricultural productivity but also facilitate access to non-agricultural employment. Significance: this connection between infrastructure investment and employment is crucial for policymakers. Focusing on road improvements can stimulate economic activity in rural regions, reduce poverty, and support structural transformation of economies. This is particularly relevant in countries like Armenia, where rural employment opportunities are vital for socio-economic development. 5. Challenges of policy implementation. Overlooked insight: the report raises concerns about the inconsistencies and gaps in the implementation of the National Electric Vehicle Policy (NEVP) in Pakistan. It points out that while the policy offers incentives for EV adoption, significant barriers remain that hinder its effectiveness. Significance: policymakers must recognize that simply drafting comprehensive policies is insufficient. Effective implementation requires alignment between policy intent and operational reality. This includes addressing the practical challenges faced by manufacturers and consumers, ensuring that incentives are accessible, and fostering an environment conducive to the growth of the EV market. 6. Environmental and economic benefits of EV adoption. Overlooked insight: the report highlights that transitioning to electric vehicles (EVs) can significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve air quality. It also outlines the potential economic benefits such as reduced reliance on imported fuels and job creation in the EV sector. Significance: as environmental concerns become increasingly pressing, the shift towards EVs represents a vital opportunity for countries like Pakistan to not only meet their climate commitments but also stimulate economic growth. This dual benefit underscores the need for urgent action to accelerate EV adoption, making it a priority for national transport and environmental policies. 7. Importance of data-driven decision-making. Overlooked insight: the report emphasizes the need for robust data collection and analysis to inform urban transport planning and policy decisions. It suggests that leveraging big data can enhance the understanding of mobility patterns and infrastructure needs. Significance: data-driven decision-making can lead to more effective and targeted interventions in urban transport. By understanding the specific needs and behaviors of urban populations, policymakers can design more effective transport systems that meet the diverse needs of all users, ultimately leading to better outcomes for urban mobility. Conclusion. While the report presents a comprehensive overview of the implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms in urban transport governance, the above insights highlight critical areas that require further attention. Empowering MTAs, integrating transport and land use planning, focusing on gender equity. Understanding the economic impacts of infrastructure investments, ensuring effective policy implementation, promoting EV adoption, and utilizing data effectively are all vital for advancing sustainable urban transport systems. These elements are not just technical details, they are foundational to creating inclusive, efficient, and resilient urban environments that can adapt to future challenges. 1. Integration of urban transport governance. The article emphasizes the need for effective urban transport governance to manage the complexities of growing transport systems, particularly in cities like Dhaka. The establishment of a Metropolitan Transport Authority (MTA) is highlighted as a viable solution to address the challenges of fragmented governance in urban transport. An MTA would consolidate planning, regulation, implementation, and enforcement powers, enabling better coordination across multiple transport modes and agencies. This integration is crucial for optimizing transport infrastructure investments and ensuring that they serve the entire metropolitan area effectively. The experience of Dhaka with its current governance challenges illustrates the necessity of empowering the Dhaka Transport Coordination Authority (DTCA) to transform it into a genuine MTA capable of leading urban transport governance effectively. 2. Impact of improved transport infrastructure on economic opportunities. The analysis of improved transport infrastructure, especially in rural areas like Armenia, reveals significant economic benefits. Enhanced road connectivity is linked to increased agricultural productivity and access to better employment opportunities. Improved transport reduces travel costs and time, enabling rural residents to access jobs beyond their immediate vicinity, thus promoting structural transformation from agriculture to more productive sectors. The article posits that investments in transport infrastructure can create jobs, enhance economic growth, and improve living standards, particularly for women who face additional barriers in accessing economic opportunities. The case studies presented illustrate how better transport links can facilitate economic development and reduce poverty in underserved regions. 3. Challenges in electric mobility adoption. The challenges associated with the adoption of electric vehicles (EVs) in Pakistan are critically examined. While the National Electric Vehicle Policy (NEVP) outlines incentives and targets to stimulate EV adoption, the transition remains slow due to high acquisition costs, limited financing options, and insufficient charging infrastructure. The article stresses the importance of clear policies and standards to encourage private sector involvement and outlines the need for a tiered approach to accelerate EV adoption. Recommendations include focusing on commercially viable vehicle segments, establishing charging infrastructure requirements, and creating risk-sharing mechanisms to unlock commercial financing. The analysis underscores the necessity of navigating the complex landscape of EV adoption in a way that aligns with broader transport decarbonization goals. 4. Role of public transport in women's economic empowerment. The article highlights the crucial role of public transport in enhancing women's economic opportunities in the MENA region. By assessing the challenges faced by women in using public transport, it identifies factors such as safety, accessibility, and affordability that hinder their labor force participation. The findings indicate that improvements in public transport systems can lead to increased economic empowerment for women, enabling them to seek employment and access essential services. The article advocates for tailored interventions that consider the unique circumstances of women in different cities, emphasizing that enhancing women's public transport experiences is integral to promoting gender equity and economic participation. The data-driven insights provided can inform policy decisions aimed at improving transport systems to better serve women's needs and support their integration into the workforce. 1. The London Congestion Charge 2003. The introduction of the London Congestion Charge was a significant policy initiative aimed at reducing traffic congestion in central London. The scheme charges drivers a fee to enter the congestion zone during peak hours. The policy was implemented in 2003 and has since led to a notable decrease in vehicle traffic, improved air quality, and increased public transport usage. The revenues generated from the charge are reinvested into public transport improvements, demonstrating a successful example of how transport governance can be effectively managed to reduce congestion and encourage sustainable transport. 2. The Bus Rapid Transit BRT system in Bogotá. Colombia 2000, Bogotá's Transmilenio BRT system is a globally recognized example of successful public transport reform. Launched in 2000, the system was designed to provide efficient and rapid bus services across the city, integrating various transport modes and promoting public transit use. The implementation involved the construction of dedicated bus lanes and improved infrastructure, leading to significant reductions in travel times for commuters. The project has also stimulated economic activity along the transport corridors and has been a model for other cities around the world seeking to improve urban mobility. 3. The Transport Development Strategy in Singapore 1971 onwards. Singapore's transport development strategy has evolved significantly since the 1970s, focusing on creating an integrated, efficient, and sustainable transport system. The government's investment in public transport infrastructure, including the mass rapid transit MRT system, bus networks, and cycling paths, has transformed the city-state into a model of urban mobility. The policy emphasizes public transport over private vehicle ownership, leading to a substantial reduction in traffic congestion and promoting environmental sustainability. Singapore's approach involves strong governmental coordination, public engagement, and continuous investment in transport innovation, showcasing effective transport governance principles. The future outlook for the implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms and the broader context of urban transport governance and electric mobility in developing regions, particularly in cities like Dhaka and across Pakistan, presents both challenges and opportunities. Here are some key predictions and insights regarding the evolution of these initiatives by 2025 and beyond. 1. Enhanced urban transport governance. By 2025, there is a strong likelihood that Metropolitan Transport Authorities (MTAs) will gain increased authority and resources to effectively manage urban transport systems. This shift is driven by the growing recognition of the need for integrated governance structures that can address the complexity of urban transport challenges. Cities like Dhaka may see reforms that empower the Dhaka Transport Coordination Authority (DTCA) to take a leading role in planning, regulation, and enforcement. This could involve a more formalized governance structure, improved interagency coordination, and enhanced stakeholder engagement. 2. Growth in electric mobility adoption. The transition to electric vehicles (EVs) in Pakistan is expected to accelerate, particularly in the 2W and 3W segments. By 2025, if the National Electric Vehicle Policy (NEVP) is effectively implemented, we could witness a significant uptick in EV adoption, potentially reaching a tipping point where 5% of vehicle sales are electric. This transition will likely be supported by incentives like tax breaks, reduced import duties, and favorable financing options. Improved public charging infrastructure and battery swapping solutions could also facilitate this growth. 3. Economic corridor development. The focus on developing economic corridors in Argentina's northwest, particularly around lithium production, may serve as a model for other regions. By 2025, the establishment of robust transport links could stimulate not just lithium transport but also enhance agricultural and tourism sectors. Investment in multimodal infrastructure that connects these sectors will be critical for regional economic growth and could result in job creation and poverty alleviation. 4. Improved public transport for women. There is likely to be a concerted effort to enhance public transport systems in cities like Amman, Beirut, and Cairo to better serve women. By addressing safety, accessibility, and affordability issues, cities may see a rise in women's labor force participation. Public transport improvements tailored to meet the needs of women will be crucial in driving gender equity and economic empowerment. Initiatives like the Mawassalati app in Jordan could serve as models for other cities. 5. Climate resilience and sustainability. As urban populations grow, the urgency to address climate change through sustainable transport solutions will become more pronounced. By 2025, it is anticipated that cities will invest in climate-resilient infrastructure and prioritize low-carbon transport options. The integration of renewable energy sources for EV charging and the promotion of public transport as a viable alternative to private vehicles will be key strategies in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. 6. Technology and data-driven solutions. The use of big data and technology in urban transport planning and operations is expected to increase significantly. By 2025, cities may leverage advanced data analytics to improve transport efficiency, enhance service delivery, and optimize infrastructure investments. This could also include the implementation of smart traffic management systems and real-time passenger information services. 7. Challenges to implementation. Despite these optimistic predictions, several challenges are likely to persist. Issues such as bureaucratic inertia, lack of funding, and political resistance to reform could hinder progress. Moreover, economic downturns or shifts in policy priorities may impact the momentum of EV adoption and urban transport investments. Conclusion. The next few years will be crucial for shaping the future of urban transport governance and electric mobility in developing regions. By focusing on integrated planning, fostering public-private partnerships, and leveraging technology, cities can enhance mobility, promote economic growth, and contribute to sustainable development goals. The successful implementation of salary seed funding mechanisms will play a vital role in this transformative process, impacting not just transport but also the broader socio-economic landscape.